You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. Welcome to Living Nightmare After Hours. With me in studio, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome.
Hey, thanks. Right before
man.
we came on the air, I spilled my beverage, so we're in light cleanup mode. But you know what makes me feel a little better is that opening theme song.
I love it.
Good old Ghostbusters.
Oh man, I feel bad for because you know how anytime they try to make those movie renditions, I still haven't given that one a chance. The trailers were just not even.
Oh, the newest one?
Yeah, even for like the nostalgia, I thought maybe all right, cool. Just for the nostalgia, let me go check them out.
Right.
No,
right. Not that this is like movie review and maybe slightly off topic, but the theme is Ghostbusters at the beginning there. I would say the movie is functional. It's good. I wouldn't say it's not as good as the original. Obviously, everybody had to know that going in. But I would say it's an enjoyable movie if you're willing to watch it and enjoy it. It's a good movie.
Okay. I haven't given it a chance just because, for whatever reason, I was like, really? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I thought maybe at least if they would have piggybacked, like, kind of like a fast forward, maybe the girls come in and find it. But then I heard that it was its own original, like.
Right. It's like its
rendition.
Own. Right. And that, I will say that's kind of my biggest criticism is that I don't see why with a few lines of exposition they could not have put the two in the same universe, right?
Right.
You said, those guys from the 80s had Ghostbusters, blah, 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 right? Like, didn't have to be a lot. Could have been a little.
I'm telling you. Well, Living Nightmare, we're getting closer and closer. Is it Monster Ball coming up?
Well, we're finishing up the Monsters Ball.
Aha.
But Dead by Dawn is coming up.
There we go. That's the one I'm missing.
Yeah.
There it is.
So I have my prep right up here. Whenever do we want to read the champions first?
Yeah, I was about to. As I'm scrolling up. See, mine is waterproof. Well, not my phone, but at least my bullet. Oh man, beverage proof. Okay, here we go. So,
proof. Yeah, I dig it.
We got Living Nightmare number 49. 49 or 50?
49.
This is 49. Yeah,
50's coming up. That's one of the announcement or one of the reviews.
I was about to say that too. Okay, but new champion. I don't remember seeing this guy before. Swamp Monster.
Swamp Monster debuted just recently.
Nice.
This may be only Swamp Monster's second or third cycle.
Nice.
So
and
from
congratulations.
Newcomer to champion. Yeah.
That'll work. Our new Nightmare champion, Swamp Monster. Yeah. Paranormal champion, Jason Voorhees 13. Amityville champion. We got some new names here. Darth Akuma. We got our Crystal Lake champion, Morbius. We got our Elm Street champion, Patient Y. Our Black Lagoon champion. Nice. Blade the Vampire Hunter staying on the title page.
Yeah.
Nice. Our Camp Arwalk champion, Voodoo Dolly. Transylvania champion from the Battle Royal. The man himself, Dr. Frankenstein. Our Haunted Hill champion, Patient X. Sleepy Hollow champion, Patient Z, also from the Battle Royal. Our Salem's Lot champion, Kyle O'Reilly from the Battle Royal. And last, our Crypt champion, also from the Battle Royal, the legend himself, Catfish Rob.
Catfish Rob.
We got our Apocalypse Tag Team champions, Darth Yoro and Darth Akuma. We got our Doomsday TV Tag Team champions, Patient Z and Patient Y. Last year's Six Man of the Year, bringing home the Slaughterhouse Tag Championship. 449 Patients X, Y, and Z. And our Nightmare TV six-man champions. Didn't we say this last time also, where we saw where the kind of the trash talk, worked into, was it Sinister Bagul and
And Krampus.
and Krampus winning it. So, and this cycle, it looks like Squeaky, uh, RoboCat, and Bigfoot went to go train with Catfish, and here they are, our new six-man champion.
He
So
did.
awesome. I know, I don't have it on this front page, but who won the battle royal? Did Frankenstein win it this cycle?
He did. He did.
Nice.
So, well, I don't want to jump ahead, but the runner-up was Voodoo Dolly. And so
Nice.
Voodoo Dolly will be joining the Anarchy title match at Dead by Dawn as the last participant.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, nice to see Voodoo Dolly back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, awesome cover as always. Like I said, we got that tag team from hell, Myers and Voorhees, who, yeah, those guys are definitely a force to be reckoned here in the Living Nightmare League. But
for sure.
Before we go any further and into the pay-per-views, want to go ahead and give our commissioner champions their fair share of dues, because, like we mentioned on here, brother, I mean these championships are, especially to us that are trash talkers, they're prestigious, and so now, do you want to speak on this on air, or are we going to hold this off to kind of just let it go with the trash talk? Because we had a recent change. Underworld champion is now Darth Akuma.
Yeah, I think we can talk about it.
Okay.
So one of the things I was going to mention is that the dragons have become Sith, and so now they are all Darths. So the way that it was explained to me is that these are not new characters. The dragons have become, and we have a short trash talk here from the Sith later on, but in our trash talk portion of and separate show, we'll talk a little bit about that. But these are not new characters. These are characters who have went through a transformation, which is why you see a sudden change and why this brand new name is listed as Underworld Champion. Because was Dragon...
Amarillo.
Amarillo, yes.
Nice, I love it. So Amarillo has joined the dark side and, like you said, is now one of the Sith Lords, become Darth Akuma, and remains our Underworld Champion. And you said this one is going to be contested at the pay-per-view at Dead by Dawn in a four-way?
Well, the Anarchy title is.
The Anarchy, not the Underworld.
So the Underworld will actually face the winner of Monsters Ball. And I do have the final 5 that will compete to win it.
Nice.
The final 5 that will be, we will determine the winner this cycle. In cycle 50, Jason Voorhees, Dr. Frankenstein, Patient Y, Patient X, and Foxwoman Santana.
Nice.
Awesome. So the highest strategy among those 5 will challenge for the Underworld title at the pay-per-view. I do want to mention, if by chance Dr. Frankenstein would win the Monsters Ball and challenge for the Underworld title, I will remove him from the Anarchy title match. And that match will become a triple threat.
Nice.
So I manage Dr. Frankenstein, so full disclosure. So if he is challenging for the Underworld title, I don't want Dr. Frankenstein also challenging for the Anarchy title.
Nice. Give everybody a little bit of a shot.
Everybody a little piece of the action. Yeah.
There we go. Now, speaking of Anarchy, our current champion is Bosco the Clown.
Yes.
We mentioned our Colossal champion, Dr. Frankenstein, and Cover Boys themselves, our Terror Tag Team champions, Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers.
Yes.
Now
we are getting closer. We are getting closer to determining the challengers.
Nice.
What were you going to say before I so rudely interrupted you?
Oh, no, not at all. I was just going to say it's still pretty early on in the year, but the rankings are, they're kind of, shaping and molding themselves early. I mean, it was nice to see Swamp Monster, because that'll give us a little more diversity at the top there. But this Frankenstein guy, I'm telling you,
he does okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention something else about the terror tag, but I'll talk about that when we talk about the pay-per-view.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, so our rankings, yeah, starting to fill out pretty nicely, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I definitely want to see Sinister, Bagul, and the Krampus just kind of, make that impact that they started. Keep that kind of momentum going because we
I hear
definitely
that.
need some more competition in the six and tag action.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like that's picking up. I feel like
Yeah,
that's picking up a little bit. Our six-man action.
yeah, no, I know Catfish with all his new crew there. I know we've
Yeah.
definitely started signing some more just to you know toss and turn that scene up a little bit because
Right.
oh
Well,
yeah,
to sidebar onto this because I tangent all the time. We've got the Patience, the Sith, Catfish and Company, Sinister Bagul and his crew, uh, the Murder Foundation, as they've dubbed themselves, of Voorhees and Myers and Leatherface.
nice.
That's five, right?
Oh yeah, and then
And and I and I
I
don't want
know
to
the,
leave anybody out.
oh no, I know what's his name. I know
Oh,
Swamp Monster and I don't know who he's tagging up, but I know they brought a couple tag teams in their little faction.
right. And the and O'Reilly, Fish, and Strong. I don't know. I didn't see them use Undisputed Era in their trash talk this cycle, but I'll call them that for lack of a better term. So that's at least six or seven,
Nice.
groups of six men. And I'm like, maybe about time to start thinking about a commissioner six-man title.
Yes. Hey now.
I don't know. Maybe.
I love it.
Maybe. What does everybody think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Do we need a commissioner six-man title?
Yeah, no, I mean, and more than anything, I mean, obviously we've talked about this number of times on this show. I mean, we do it for you guys. I mean, we know who's listening. We know you guys are out there. Let us know what you want to see, in the league. Obviously, Commissioner Anderson is great at accommodating and, taking ideas and, bringing them to reality, because, yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I find interesting is that, you can sit down with a bunch of people and have ideas, but, to actually, carry them through and, bring them to the full, I think I heard one time someone was like, hey, man, I was in this league and that league, and I paid for a tournament, and I paid for a tournament that never happened. And
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that's tough. That is kind of raw. That's so yeah. You know what? That a little extra shout out to you, Scott, because yeah, commissioners that do keep their word and do run these tournaments through the end is awesome, brother.
Hey, thanks. I do my best.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it.
and reward people because as I'm scrolling down right past the rankings, we have the commissioner challenge, which is 25 free matches. I mean, and I mean, I think you mentioned this the last time, and you get the matches that are a part of the dang tournament. So if
Right.
you're winning, you're getting free matches on top of the other free matches that you're gonna get at the end.
You are correct, sir.
Nice.
We so we are down to our finals of this commissioner challenge. It'll be Dr. Frankenstein versus Jason Voorhees. So that'll be a pretty heavy hitter matchup, I do believe.
Yes, I like it.
So I'll be excited to see who can win 25 free matches there.
Oh yeah. Now, our activity has stayed up. Our activities, like I said, shout out to all you managers in the Living Nightmare League. You guys are amazing. Top 10 again?
Yeah, I mean it's yeah I can't say enough. Just how 15 cycles in a row. Um, I feel like I I feel like thanks to people like yourself and a few other managers, people are starting to hear about the LNL some, starting to get a little name recognition out there. But I feel like we have quietly amassed a very like long time, you know, long time run in the top 10. And obviously I'd love to stay in the top 10 for the foreseeable future. But 15 cycles in a row is pretty darn consistent,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Now for those managers that maybe that are you know not so in tune with the IWA at large.
Hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if we manage to get into the top six, we qualify for the IWA Metro title at large.
You are yeah, you are correct.
Okay.
So the top six leagues in activity are the ones that compete for the Metro title. So
Oh,
their
nice,
league champions face off to be the Metro champion. Yeah.
nice. And of course, unless you've been living under a rock, you should know that as long as a league has under six manager, or excuse me, six wrestlers per manager, and is over 50 cards, it qualifies for the Elite Championship. Is that safe to say?
Yes, more or less. So an elite, you do have to be like as they
Assigned.
right. You do have to be kind of a declared elite league, right? And those are all listed on the website. Right now we have 13. The Louisiana Purchase League is fast approaching their 1 year mark, so we'll see if they join. It'd be cool to have another league. So right now we have, I think, 12 or 13. So
Nice.
as long as you have a limit of six or less, and you have over 50 cards, your league champion will compete for the elite title.
Nice. Now that's interesting because I wasn't aware that the Louisiana Purchase had the limit of six.
They do have a limit of six. Although
That's
I
awesome.
did see a post recently that was considering doing away with the limit.
Interesting.
So, I don't mean to I'm not trying to spill their tea, just a little shout out. Louisiana Purchase League. It's in Steel. If you like stats, it's a pretty cool league for stats.
Oh yeah,
Um, so
they definitely run a heavy stat game in the LPL.
yeah, yeah. So if you're interested in that, maybe they could join the elite leagues in a few cycles. We'll see.
Nice. Now, I mean, I know probably should know this by now, and I mean, out of all the titles that you have, you said the Colossus is the one that is pretty much contested in and out.
The colossal are we talking LNL commissioner titles?
Yes,
Yeah, the colossal title is the one that's defended every cycle,
every
and
cycle.
anybody can challenge for it. The only restriction is that you do have to trash talk.
Right.
So if you beat the colossal champion but you don't trash talk that cycle, you can't win the title.
Now you have to mark the match. Is that safe
Nope,
or no?
nope. I
Nice,
just look them up. I'm
nice.
good like
Okay,
that. You don't have to mark them for me.
that'll work.
I think that's one of the things, and I think this is harkens back to when you think about things that like you like as a player or things you don't like as a player. I don't like having to mark my matches, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm not going to ask anybody else to mark them. I'll look them up. I don't mind. So
As
so
long
no,
as it's as
you
long as
don't.
it's signed for that champion, you're good with that.
If it's in the bulletin, I will find it.
Nice. Now, has it ever happened where, and of course, this is like where the colossal champion was also a regional, and just
Uh, oh sure,
okay, so and you'll still accept it even if someone's taking their regional belt.
yeah.
Okay, cool, that'll work.
So we've even had the Colosso title change hands because of the main event match, right? The main event matches that are contested for the league
Yeah,
title.
nice.
If it's in the bulletin and you beat the Colossal champion by the most points and you trash talk, you're the champion.
That'll work. I don't like it.
So
Now, you said we're coming to an end of this Monster Ball, or to the end of the Monsters Ball.
correct. So the aforementioned five finalists will decide who challenges for the Underworld title. So hopefully people have enjoyed just that little extra Monsters Ball in determining the number one contender.
Oh yeah.
Um, One
Now,
thing I want to mention while we're talking about commissioner titles a little bit still
uh-huh.
is I had talked about for several cycles the possibility of the Anarchy title being defended in between pay-per-views, and I am ready to announce how that will be done if you are if you want me to announce it now.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is the winners of the best trash talk, or the people that I basically, the people that are chosen to have the best trash talk, and the winners of the battle royal between cycle 50 and 52 will have a six-pack challenge match and the winner of that match will face the champion in cycle 55. So
Did you just say a 6-pack?
challenge. Yeah, so let me back up a second. I glossed over that. So there will be from cycle 50, 51, and 52. We'll have 3 people who I determine as having the best trash talk, and then we'll have hopefully 3 winners from the battle royal.
Ah, okay.
And so we'll have up to 6 wrestlers in a match in cycle 53 to determine who will face the Anarchy champion at a kind of I'm penciling it in as Terror Night's main event instead of Tuesday nights or Saturday night's main event. Terror Night's main event. So that's kind of the penciled in name for now. And it's not a pay-per-view. It's just kind of a like a Saturday night's main event, where you see some feature matches where they promote the next pay-per-view. So the Anarchy title will be defended in cycle 55.
Now, I know you say Saturday night. Because and of course, I grew up with Saturday night main event. But similar to like Raw, similar to SmackDown, similar to like a little.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So it'll have a few other matches. I'll throw a few other matches on there, but very, very light, very small, no other title matches. Just kind of building into another pay-per-view.
Now,
So
now
we'll
I know, I know. Especially with the way the pace works in the Living Nightmare League.
Yes.
Just to throw it out there to all the managers, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but we want to save the bigger, more unique matches for the pay-per-views. So
correct.
Nothing against having a tables, ladder, and chair match. From between the pay-per-views, but let's try and save those matches for the pay-per-view so that we can have a great show.
Right. No. Yes. Definitely. Wholeheartedly agree. If it's called Terror Night's main event, which I don't know, it's growing on me. I will just pick those matches. Managers, nothing against managers requesting a match, but they don't even have to worry about it. Like say, I'll have I can't even think of it might even just be a match with 2 guys who aren't even feuding, like just a highlight.
Like Jason versus Bigfoot.
Right. We're just going to promote a match, or have a match on the show just to lead in. Maybe Jason versus Bigfoot and Sinister Bagul is the guest enforcer.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just something like that. Like we're building into the pay-per-view. It is not meant to be something that managers have to, build towards both. Our pay-per-views in the LNL, as you kind of alluded to, are spaced 5 or 6 cycles apart. So the intention is to build up to the pay-per-view. And so this kind of in-between like TV show, for lack of a better term, can build into a pay-per-view. It's not meant to be a build in and of itself. It's meant to be a part of building towards a pay-per-view match. I think is my thought.
And I think the one thing that I enjoy, Scott, is that with these leagues that we've covering, I do a few shows, and the thing that I enjoy is the fact that we do have a nice group of characters there in the Living Nightmare League. You can see them. I know different managers that listen, they can see the different characters, and for us to have these little mini crossovers to get them to interact between pay-per-views, I think is awesome. I think it'll lead to some great trash talk and some great little side pieces. Like I said, we have to build other angles and other feuds for the future. So at times, I know you get invested, or myself, I get invested in one particular character or one particular angle that I overlook. Someone like a Bigfoot or someone like a Squeaky or whoever. So
or maybe if Catfish Rob is feuding with who's somebody if he's feuding with Sith, maybe RoboCat faces one of the Siths.
Right. Perfect.
You know what I mean? So it's a match that's related to what's coming up, but it's not the feud in and of itself, right?
Right,
We're
and
saving Catfish versus the, you know, versus.
and one of the things I like is the fact that we get to work. I mean, I always say it's work because, nowadays, with social media, we can talk to people, and it's like, if we
Right.
do lose that match, or if I lose that match, I'm just gonna, like I tell Catfish, it's like, I'm gonna blame it on you, Catfish. I'm gonna say you came to the ring and you interfered and you distracted me or whatever, just to
Right.
keep the angle going, to keep the flow, to keep keep that build up to that pay per view. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
I definitely think the LNL has some of my favorite characters and managers for sure. So shout out to all the managers there.
Oh yeah. Now this Dead by Dawn contest is 2 cycles away.
Yeah, so upcoming is Cycle 50. I do want to mention it says in the bulletin for the last few cycles the deadline is March 19th. And March 19th is our next bronze run. So even though the pay-per-view's not for another few weeks, your deadline to enter the Dead by Dawn contest is this upcoming cycle. So if you have not yet entered, I highly recommend sending it in if you want to be in it, if you want to be a part of it. So
Now I don't see the list here, but do we have a list posted as to who's entered already, or?
currently entered, as well announced as currently entered. I did get a few more that are not in this bulletin.
Okay.
So the ones that have been announced are the Krampus, Bosco the Clown, Scarecrow, and the Yeti
Aha.
have been announced. So I did get some more that are entering. So not
So
ready
you
to
see,
announce those.
and you see, I'm glad we had this little talk because I was under the impression that I had entered, but I think I entered the UNL one and not this one yet. So I'll make sure I get mine in. I'll probably send it in with this upcoming cycle, or before the cycle. I'll get it in. I'll get it to Kim.
Yeah. Well, I'll double check. I don't think I have one from you, but I'll double check. And
Yeah, no,
you know,
I think since we were kind of talking about both of them, I think I did one and not the other just by mistake. But you can definitely count on
yeah.
my representation there.
Sweet. If it makes anybody feel better, I haven't entered my wrestlers yet. So just enter this cycle and we'll be fine. I meant to pay last cycle, but I didn't. So I'll just pay this cycle. But love to see as many people that want to enter. It is 2-for-1. So, you get two monsters for $1. So it's only $1. You could win some credit.
Come on, get in there. I
Mm.
want to. I need to
Spend
bury
that
more.
dollar. Shout out GN.
I need to bury more people. Definitely spend that dollar. Shout them out, man.
Spend that dollar.
Nice. Now, before we forget, because we keep mentioning Cycle 50, and we haven't mentioned it yet. You secured some nice incentives for Cycle 50.
Yeah. So should we go over those real quick again?
Yeah, let's
So
keep reminding these managers so they.
Yeah. So Cycle 50 is coming up on March 19th. And for that cycle, if you spend the $12 for the match deal, you get your 20 regular matches. But instead of 20 scrub matches, you get 30 scrub matches. Just make sure you tell the IWA you would like the 30 scrub matches instead of 20. You may enter up to 4 monsters into the Battle Royal for only $2. And for every 50 cards we have in Cycle 50, managers can take 10 free matches in Cycle 51.
Nice.
So if we get over 100, every manager gets 20 free matches.
I'm telling you.
Hitting 100 is hard.
I can see us getting 100. I really can.
I can too. I think we could make it. But that'd be cool. And not to be forgotten, if we have over 100 cards, in addition to every manager getting 20 free matches for that, all the singles champions will get 10 free matches. So
I've been playing the Living Nightmare. I've been playing very conservative. I've been But I think that one I'm gonna have to go all out on that one, brother. Shout out to all the guys listening. I'm sorry, but that one I'm not gonna hold back.
Hey,
Oh, excuse me.
I welcome any help we can get
Oh,
to get over 100 cards. It would
definitely.
be pretty cool.
Said count on us getting over 100. I think we're good.
Yes. All right.
Now, Terror Tag title match.
Yeah. Okay. So, here's what I've come to. Here's what I'm gonna announce this cycle, and I hope everybody's on board. So I had mentioned on our last show the possibility of adding Sinister Bagul and the Krampus to the Terror Tag title match. Say that 3 times fast. Um, so given the increased friction between Jason and his crew and Sinister Bagul and his new crew that we'll talk about in our trash talk show. Here's what I've decided. We're gonna have a return match between Jason Voorhees and Sinister Bagul at Dead by Dawn.
Nice.
If Sinister Bagul wins, he and Krampus will be added to the Terror Tag title match.
I like it.
So then we'll have a triple threat if Sinister Bagul beats Jason at the pay-per-view.
That'll work for me. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. I mean, the more the merrier. Like I said, I mean, this is the Living Nightmares, and we want to put on the biggest, baddest show we can. And yeah, who doesn't want to see Jason and Michael Myers join that match, brother?
Yeah, for real. So that's what I've come up with. I hope everybody likes it. I think it matches in with the feud that's going on. Hopefully, it rewards the players that are contributing. So that's what I've got.
Oh yeah. Now, this haunted grounds contest that we're running. It looks like a couple managers are taking to it. Uh, I definitely like the fact that we have a lot of those. I mean, not to say it in a bad way, but we have a lot of managers that are on that title page, cycle in, cycle out. So this is the kind of contest that I like to see ran when you have that kind of a mix because the dragons or the new Darths or the Siths.
Yes.
They're on there every cycle, brother. So to see them kind of now trying to mix and match and like I said, try and make it work for you. Especially
Right.
I mean we've mentioned it before on air, especially if you've already won, the Elm Street title. Make it work for you. Go after one of the others, man. I mean,
Yeah.
bring it home.
That's what I'm saying. I think it'll be. I think it's a contest that will get really exciting as we approach the last 3 or 4 cycles of the year. I think like it's starting to build now. People are starting to check things off, and that's cool. But I think as we get towards the end, and maybe Blade the Vampire Hunter has 7, and it's like, can he make it? Can he get those
Right.
last 3?
That's good. That like I said, that's gonna be fun to track.
Yeah. So the other thing that I didn't think about until, I sort of did, but not consciously, is that these are the 10 regional titles. So if you are Swamp Monster, you won the league title, you're not on here this time.
Oh,
You know what I mean? You're not
yeah,
gaining a regional spot in the Haunted Grounds contest because you're the Nightmare champion.
yeah. You got the more prestigious one. So
Right. So there is
nice.
something to that.
Now, as I'm scrolling down, we definitely got to mention it. I know it's still deep into the summer, but collision crossover, just in case you don't know, it's coming again.
Yeah. And I did lay out in my kind of opening message, I did lay out a challenge to see if any other bronze leagues want to take on the LNL. So we'll see who
Dun dun
answers the call.
dun 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 dun. Now, just to throw it out there, I know we just recently had the Iron Glove get taken over by a new commissioner. So shout out to the Iron Glove League. Shout out to the RWL. Shout out to all the other wonderful bronze leagues out there, brother.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, for real. The Bronze League is, I don't know what the kids are saying now, but it is on fleek. Um, it is.
You're like whatever they're saying nowadays. That's what it
Whatever
is,
they're
brother.
saying nowadays, it is the Bronze Fed is popping.
You mean
So
they're not saying it's rad anymore? Am I? Oh
I think
man,
I think I think yeah, it's probably coming back like 10 years from now. But
nice.
yeah, I don't think they're saying rad right now.
Dang it. Ah, nice. Now, Commissioner, are we? Did we cover all the commissioner stuff? Is there anything we're leaving out?
Let's let's double check.
Yeah, because I mean, guys, again, like I said, I know it's hard to. I mean, I know these things are on YouTube, but please reach out to us on Facebook. Let us know what you think of these shorter shows. In our view, trying to keep the focus in terms of commissioner stuff, and then the trash talk. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, awesome. Nope, we covered it all. So I
We
think we
got it.
can wrap this portion up. I hope everybody joins us for the trash talk portion. We had some pretty cool stuff happen this cycle.
Nice.
So hopefully everybody will listen into that.
Oh yeah, go check out all the other wonderful stuff. If you're new to the league, feel free to go check out the Living Nightmare playlist. Catch up on some of the old trash talk. Catch up on some of the old angles that we had, just to get familiarize yourself. But till next time, you've been listening to myself, IWA Flip, and Commissioner of the Living Nightmare League here on After Hours, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Till next time, goodbye.